Hey guys, what's up? It's another session of Bass with Bets. So for today's video, we're gonna talk about the minor scale. The minor scale. If you remember in our past videos, we've talked about the major scale. So today we're gonna switch gears and go to the minor scale. So if we're gonna talk about major versus minor, we need to understand that these things are what we call tonalities. Tonalities. So in class, when I refer to a tonality, I'm really talking about the mood. What is the mood that it gives you, that it imparts on you, right? It could be major, it could be minor, and these have certain feelings associated with them. So if I ask you for the tonality, I'm asking you, is it major, is it minor, is it augmented, is it something else? Tell me what the tonality of the scale is, then we'll know how to move forward. So, we're gonna dive into minor scale. We'll start today without the bass. And then the next video, I'll bring in the bass and I'll go through the scale degrees and show you how to move through it. So we're gonna do the anatomy of the minor scale. If you guys are ready for that, let's go. So if you remember in the major scale, the order of the whole and half steps were whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So that's how you would move from one note to the other. This is the spaces, the intervals that are in between the notes to get from one octave to another. Now, it's gonna switch when it comes to minor scale. The minor scale, the steps between the minor scale, the intervals to get from one note to the other are whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. So, let's talk about the G minor scale. As with any scale, it gets its name from the root note. Root meaning one. Remember, when we talked about scale degrees, the major scale, the root note is the one chord. It is the note that gives the scale its name. Okay? So the G minor scale, the root note of the G minor scale is G. I want to make sure that we're clear here. Just because the root is G and the one is G doesn't mean the scale always has to start on G. So the scale is building from G. Understand? So I can play a G minor scale but start on A sharp because A sharp falls within the G minor scale. So if we're clear on that, we can move on. The G minor scale, the root note in the G minor scale is the one. That's the one chord, is G. G is the one chord. So now if we move, we want to move a whole step up. Okay? It's the same right there. The first step is the same as the major scale. It's the whole step. So a whole step up from G, as you know, is A. Exactly. So the first two notes in a G minor scale are G and A. Okay? A whole step. The minor scale goes from whole to half. So the second step is a half step and not a whole step. So let's remember that. The first step goes from G to A, that's a whole step. The second step is a half step, and a half step above from A is A sharp. So our first three notes in the G minor scale are G, A, then A sharp. That's a whole step and a half step starting off of G. Now we're gonna go a whole step up. So from A sharp, a whole step up from A sharp is C, okay? So now we're on C. C is our 4. C is our 4 in the G minor scale, okay? Moving up from that, you wanna go a whole step after that. That's D. A whole step up from C is D. So D is our 5 in a G minor scale. Cool? Then we're gonna move from D a half step up. A half step up from D is what? D sharp, exactly. So, half step up from D is D sharp. Now we're getting into the good part. We're almost home. Now from D sharp, we're gonna move up a whole step. That's gonna be F. D sharp, a whole step up from D sharp is F. Then finally, on F, which is our 7, this is our 7 in the G minor scale. It's the 7th note that falls in order in the G minor scale. We'll go from F, a whole step up from G, okay? So all of the notes in our G minor scale are G, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, and G, okay? So guys, that's how you build the G minor scale. For the next episode, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it on the bass. So stay tuned.